Hey guys, I'm not sure what this story is called, but it has to do with something happening in the woods, anyways. Enjoy. I have a close friend who grew up in the area I did, so we have some similar memories of the woods. When he was about 12, he belonged to a Boy Scout troop, and they went out to a campsite for a weekend retreat, or whatever you call those things. As I recall, he said it was him and about 12 other kids. He and like three other kids decided that everyone had fallen asleep. They'd all get up and go fuck around in the forest, try and see which of them would wimp out first. They ended up waking up another kid in an accident, and he wanted to go with them. So they all headed out pretty late at night. He said he didn't know exactly how late it was because he didn't think to check the time, but he estimated that it was a little after midnight. Only one of them brought a flashlight, so they stayed pretty close together. They got out far enough that they weren't afraid of waking anyone up, and they were horsing around and messing with each other, trying to spook everyone. My friend said it was actually really fun until one of the kids pointed ahead and said he saw something. They followed this kid, and he led them to what looked like an old, big fire pit. The kid was standing over it, looking into the center of it, and he asked for the flashlight. Everyone gathered around, and my friend said it was the strangest thing. He said it almost looked like one of those old Warner Brothers cartoons where there's an almost perfect circle made of solid black on the ground. He said he actually bent down to touch it and see if it really was just paper, but his hand went right through. It went right down into the ground. When they lit it up with a flashlight, they could see that it was, in fact, an almost perfect circular tunnel into the earth. But there were crude dirt steps carved into the sides. Spiraling down? Now, the pit itself was about 5 feet wide, and the circle was almost exactly that, so it was plenty large enough for a small boy to go down in there. They did the typical things, yelling down into it, dropping a few rocks to see if they could hear it land, but they couldn't see or hear where it ended. So the talk turned to electing a kid to go down in it. My friend begged out of it, and he got ragged on, but he said it just didn't seem right, and he didn't think any of them should be going down. But the kid with the flashlight, who was sort of the unofficial leader, gave my friend the flashlight, and he said he was going to check it out. He climbed down into it and started following the stairs, which spiraled along the sides and down in a steep twist. He said once he got down far enough, he'd call for the flashlight and my friend would toss it down. Stupid logic, but maybe the kid wanted to prove he wasn't scared. They watched him go down, keeping the light on him, until they couldn't see him anymore. Eventually, they could barely hear him, and my friend started asking him to come back up. They said the last thing they heard him say was something to the effect of, "It's just going on," and then he vanished. And they couldn't see or hear him. Not knowing what to do, but also not wanting to follow him down, the rest of the group waited by the pit for hours for this kid to come back. It was late, and they were little boys, so at some point, all of them fell asleep. When they woke up, it was daylight, and the circle was gone. The ground was flat, like it had never even been there. They all panicked, and dug down as far as they could, but there wasn't even a trace of the tunnel. My friend said it wasn't like a cave-in. It was like there'd never been anything there in the first place. They rushed back to the camp where everyone was just starting to notice their absence, and told the counselor what had happened. Now, he didn't believe the whole bit around the weird tunnel, but of course, he could see that a kid was missing. So he called the police, and a search was started. My friend and the rest of the remaining group led the searchers to the fire pit, and there was a massive excavation, but they never found anything. They searched the area for miles, investigated a lot of sex offenders in town, in case it was an abduction, but they never found a single trace of that kid. All right, I hope you guys enjoy the story. Moral to the story: don't go in little places you don't know where they lead to. As much as I don't believe in that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Sweet nightmares.